Well, that's right. We did indeed get off to a great start to the week today with the Sensex as well as the Nifty clearly outperforming their Asian stock market peers. We had the Sensex gain about 1.25% and the Nifty clearly ending above that 7,600 mark. In fact, the Nifty gained as much as 13.5% for the first quarter, that is April to June of financial year 2015 that ended today. And that in fact has been the biggest quarterly gain since the January to March 2012 period. What really stood out today was the entire basket of blue chip stocks except for the auto basket that was weak, but otherwise we saw a broad-based rally with oil and gas doing exceptionally well, the banking sector as well as real estate standing out today. And this in fact are sectors that are heavily policy driven as well, so there is talk out there in the markets that this indeed could be the beginning of a pre-budget rally, but analysts of course say that we need to see follow-on buying in the next few days before we can safely presume that. But otherwise there are of course funds out there doing some smart asset management just before the quarter really comes to an end, and some window dressing as well that took place today. Well, in terms of big data that came out today, we had some disappointing news when you really take into consideration the fiscal deficit number or the fiscal deficit gap that came in at $40.05 billion for the month of April-May 2014. And that really has come in as quite a shocker, because that really accounts for about 45.6% of the full year target as per government sources and government data. But again, this is not something that you should read too quickly into because we will get finer details and a clearer picture when the fiscal deficit data and the full year targets really are laid out by the finance minister in his maiden budget, that is of the BJP government, on the 10th of July. But of course, the other big red flag today in terms of data was the infrastructure output data that came in for the month of May again slowed down and decelerated at the rate of 2.3% on a year-on-year basis. This in fact is an important number to track because infrastructure output includes core sectors like coal, cement as well as power that form about 38% of the industrial output, and this also sends out a bit of a negative sentiment out there to the market. We'll have to wait and see how the markets open to this bit of news as this data came in post-market close. Well, that's right. A big win for market regulator SEBI today, with the Securities Appellate Tribunal upholding the penalty imposed by SEBI on a unit of Reliance Industries called Reliance Petrochemicals. And this had to do with a 7-year-old insider trading case that really pertained to Reliance Petro Investments investing in a company called Indian Petrochemical Corporation and buying shares of this company in 2007, just before Reliance Industries made a bid to actually acquire Indian Petrochemical Corporation, and SEBI had really come out with this charge against Reliance Petro Investments. Reliance Industries on its part can take this case forward and appeal with the Supreme Court, but a big win for SEBI, which has otherwise seen it as a huge tussle to really fight against these appeals when it comes to insider trading. Done. Thanks.